are going to talk about anxiety and stress and just everything that comes with this new lifestyle we have been thrown into. Abby, will you introduce yourself to everyone?
Hey y'all, my name is Abby. I am on the 2020 team, so I am a senior and I'm in quarantine.
Although you have been getting outside a lot. I know this because I follow you and I talk to you. So I want to know how are you doing through all of this, and what are you doing to release any stress that might be built up?
I'm having a very hard time with not being able to see all of my friends because my parents want me to pick and choose who I'm seeing. So obviously they let me see my best friends, but people I don't see all the time, we can't go hang out and do stuff. But I've been going on hikes and being outside every day.
Making sure to take plenty of time
Um,
outside.
mhm.
What are you doing outside? What do you enjoy doing outside?
I've been hiking and kayaking, and I've cleaned my truck 5 times in the last week.
Cleanest truck in town, right?
Hopefully. The pollen kind of has an effect on it. It's
Yeah.
pretty clean.
Yeah, yeah. Well, the pollen is never ending, so you could get away with washing your truck a million times.
And our truck is our garage where my truck is gonna go
Mhm.
has our moving boxes, and my dog's about to come
Oh,
out.
your dogs are entering. Your video is lagging a little bit in the conversation. Do you have a good, strong Wi-Fi strength?
We don't have any internet.
Okay, so
We still haven't put it in yet.
we're just hoping that we have good connection through this with good old LTE, right?
I have 3 bars
All right.
from my mom.
Oh, all right. Well, we'll keep going on. We'll try and make the best of this. So you're getting outside. The hardest part for you though is not being around all of your friends. I mean, it's senior year, so how is this really affecting you mentally?
I'm trying to not think too far ahead. I know everybody keeps bringing up prom and graduation, and I'm trying to just not think about it
Yeah.
because obviously if prom gets canceled, I'm still going to dress up and go out to eat, hopefully, once the restaurants open back up.
Right.
But I don't really want to think about graduation yet. I know they're talking about moving it to football season, but I'm not going to want to come home from college to go walk across the stage.
Yeah.
That kind of stinks.
So, when you say you're trying not to think about it, do you feel like that's helping you get through the day to day? Or do you feel like you might still be carrying some anxiety and stress from kind of repressing the thoughts?
I'm I'm definitely anxious about it. But it has helped me from day to day, take away some of the stress. And I mean, I have bad days, but I'm trying to not let every day be a bad day. So
Awesome.
that's been helping me with that.
So how do you do that? How do you consciously not let a day be a bad day?
Usually, if I'm outside, I don't think about anything other than what's going on in the moment.
Mm,
So that's why I've been trying to get outside so much.
yeah. And I think that's a really good piece of advice that everyone can take in terms of getting outside the house. Sometimes when we're in the four walls, things can become so heavy and our thoughts can get the best of us. But then when we get out of the house, we've got the air blowing on our skin, we have the sun shining on our face. That vitamin D is definitely like medicine, right? That sunshine
You can see it.
fuels the soul and the spirit. I definitely believe that there's so much value in that. One thing I also think to start implementing. And I think you, knowing you, and for as long as I've known you, I suspect that you do this, whether you do it consciously or not. I feel like you do this, and that is to be grateful for what you do have. To actually stop and purposefully think, what is all the good that I have around me right now? Yeah, prom up in the air, graduation up in the air. There doesn't seem to be an end in sight on when we're going to be able to actually be with our friends again and go out to eat and do all those things we like to do. But what can I be grateful for right now? What's one thing that you can think of right away that you are just so thankful to have?
We just moved into my house, so I've had plenty of unboxing and reorganizing to do. So I really haven't been that bored yet.
That's nice. That's really nice. And I know for you, knowing the process of waiting to get into your new house felt like forever. So that
It
is
was forever.
that is really a blessing for this to be something that you get to enjoy and get to do during, this hard time. Um, I like that. And I suggest for everyone to do that, to stop and just think, what is the good that I have around me right now that I can just relish in that blessing, through all of the uncertainty. So, how are you managing schoolwork? What is schoolwork like for you? I know it's senior year, there's only a couple months left. Do you have any?
All of my classwork was already online
Okay.
because I'm dual enrolled through the community college, but I got like an extra week and a half of spring break, so I didn't have any homework that week.
Okay.
Um, yeah, it really hasn't changed that much for me.
So what you're saying is you're already used to doing like the online art learning, and the workload hasn't changed much, but you still do have assignments that you need to get done. Yeah. Are you
Yeah,
finding
everything changed this. Everything was the same. The only thing that changed was one due date got pushed back like a week.
and are you finding it easy to be productive and to get that work done? Are you motivated?
No,
No.
not at all.
Which is so true for most of us.
All I want to do is go outside.
Yeah.
I just want to be outside. I don't want to sit inside and do homework.
I was talking with Hannah on the 21 team about the same thing, about being productive and staying motivated. And I loved the suggestion she shared in her talk. So if you have a chance to give her talk a listen, I would. If you're finding it difficult to stay productive, to stay motivated, to do anything, whether it's schoolwork or housework or whatever it might be, give Hannah's chat a listen, because I think it would help. It's hard to stay on a routine. And Abby and I, when we opened this conversation before I started recording, she's like, I'm exhausted. And she's like, I woke up at 5 a.m. this one day, but I stayed up till like 2 in the morning. And I think probably a lot of people can resonate with that schedule right now, right? Where they're staying up really late. And you were watching a show. Is that why you stayed up late? Yeah. Are you watching shows that you've had like this desire to watch, like you're excited about watching them, or are you just kind of mindlessly staying up watching TV?
Um, I started it last week and I got hooked on it, and so now I have to see what happens.
Okay.
So it's just been binge watching over and over again.
I love it. Well, and I want to say this because by all means, we've craved those moments where we could just sit at home and binge watch our favorite show, right? And we've never really had the time to
Mhm.
do it. So I think that, I think we should give ourselves the grace to binge watch the shows. I would just caution and make sure that you are watching TV purposefully, and by that I mean watching a show that you're really interested in and that you love and that you're excited about, versus just laying on the couch mindlessly letting the TV play because maybe you're getting stressed out or depressed or anxious,
Mm.
and there's no purpose there. So just be aware of which one is happening, and if you find yourself just mindlessly watching the TV and you're actually really sad, then my suggestion would be to turn it off and get outside. Get outside and just sit in a chair in the middle of the lawn and breathe. Turn on music. Do you listen to a lot of music when you're sitting outside?
Yes.
I know you're a country girl.
Luke Combs all the way.
All right. Okay. So is it straight up Luke Combs, or do you have any playlists that you're into?
It's mainly Luke Combs. Maybe a little mix here and there, but it's pretty much all Luke Combs.
Yeah. And that just fuels your soul. Like that brings you so much happiness. And I think that's what we need to do is we need to find that artist or the playlist that just really energizes us, makes us feel relaxed. I have so many artists. I could name a million. And depending on the mood, I'll either go country. Like I love Eric Church. So Jason, and that's just something that's between Jason and I. So we listen to Eric Church when we're on the back deck. But I also love Lauren Daigle. She's, my go-to for just like relaxing, calm music. So finding music through all this can definitely release some stress and lower the anxiety, 100%. All right, so my last question for you, Miss Abby, is through all of this craziness that's going on right now, what do you think the good is that can come?
Gratitude for sure. I think more people are realizing how important teachers are and how important all the jobs are, especially healthcare workers. And I definitely think they're getting the recognition they've needed for a long time. And I think it's taken this to actually show them appreciation.
Yeah. I love that you said that. It reminds me, I wonder if I wrote it down somewhere because I've been listening to some podcasts and watching some YouTube videos. And one thing that I heard was someone made a comment, this was the pause that our world needed, our reset, right? And part of that reset is the recognition, like looking to our neighbors and the healthcare workers and just like reminding ourselves, like grounding ourselves back down because we're in such a, overworked culture and we're do, right? And this was the pause. This was the reset. And I love that you brought that up and mentioned it because I couldn't agree more. And I hope that's a reminder to everybody, like use this as a pause button and kind of regroup, remind yourself what you have to be grateful for, all of the people that you may have taken granted for, that you wouldn't, not on purpose, right? Like we don't purposely try to take these people for granted, but the doctors and the nurses and the restaurant workers and the grocery store workers, like, gosh, this is such an amazing moment to remind yourself how important those people are in our lives. I love it. I love it. I'm so glad you brought that up. Hey, thanks for joining me for this conversation today.
You're welcome.
I miss seeing you in person.
I know. I want to give everybody a hug. I keep FaceTiming people and I can't hug them.
I know, and it's going to be really weird when we can hug again, right?
I know, 'cause it's gonna be like, should we hug or should we?
Yeah, and have you ever done that hug, like where you go to hug someone and you both go the same way with your head, and then you're like, oh wait, and then yeah, it's gonna be like that, right? It's gonna be that weird, which way do we go? We're gonna do that, you know that, right? I can't wait to do it. All right, girlfriend. Well, until I get to see you virtually or in person again, I'm so thankful for you. I appreciate you, and I'm